Yo, what is going on, guys? So on today's show, we've got some clips here today that show why men are no longer approaching modern women. So let's see what they've got to say.
Am I ever worried about keeping a man? Honey, no. Never. Never. Alright, I have pulled myself up out some of the deepest of darkest of places. And for that reason, I know my worth. I know what I bring to the table. Hell, I have built the damn table. So trust me when I say I'm not afraid to eat at it alone. Now, a man that wants to be in my life, however, he needs to be keeping himself up at night wondering how in the hell he's going to prove himself worthy of a seat at my damn table. Not worried about keeping a man, no. Man should be worried about how in the hell he's going to keep a woman like me.
I mean, any takers, gentlemen? Right? Like these ladies, what they want to do is they want to screw around, right? And waste their time in their 20s and then expect a man to come along and put in all this effort, right? He's got to step up to the table because she knows apparently that she is the table and she's deserving of all this effort. I find it funny how these women think that they're entitled to men's time, attention, and money for just existing because apparently they know their worth now. But gentlemen, we're just going to be racing straight on into today's next clip.
Currently sat in the car park at Tesco's, just ran into a girl that I used to be friends with. She comes running up to me and goes, "Oh my god, I didn't know you were pregnant." Before I even had a chance to respond, she goes, "Oh, hang on a minute, aren't you divorced? And you're still single, aren't you? So how the hell did that happen? Was it a one-night stand?"
You know, they always say that it's the men, right, that are saying these awful things, and how dare you call us these names, and you know, how come men are just pressuring us into marriage and relationships? We are strong, independent women. You know, the funny part about it, guys, is all this pressure that they're, you know, all this name calling and S shaming, shall we call it? Most of it is girls on girls, really. Like they attack each other over this stuff because what it is, right, is girls can say, "Oh, I don't need to get married. I don't care about what a man thinks," right? But at the end of the day, you know, being married and not divorced, by the way, is a status symbol. So girls will actually bicker over this crap and give each other flack for, you know, being married and then divorced and stuff like that. Like they're literally their own biggest critics.
I said, "No, I'm not pregnant, I'm just fat. I put weight on during lockdown, and quite honestly, I have no intention of trying to lose it anytime soon. And yes, I am divorced, and yes, still very single, and again, no intention of trying to find a boyfriend."
Very single. I mean, we all know what that means, guys. Like, because of course, there's just varying degrees to single, apparently. Right? When these girls say they're single, man, it's not as if they're actually single. They'll still accept the free attention. They'll still accept the dudes in their inboxes. Right? That's no problem. Give me that free stuff, and they'll be trying to get Chad to commit. Make no mistake, guys. And these girls want to pretend. Like I always find it so interesting to watch them. Right, where they say, "Oh, it's not a just because you got a divorce doesn't mean it's a failed marriage." You know, I didn't fail. Yes, you did. You totally did. Okay. I mean, these women who end up single, guys, like it's not that difficult to keep a dude around. Like it really isn't, notwithstanding any terrible circumstances, obviously. But you know, watching these girls try and keep a man a lot of the time, and I don't mean to be rude when I say this, but it is just a train wreck. And guys, before we continue this video, I just want to give a quick shout out to Replicant Fish. I watched his video before. Just a moment ago, actually, man, and I'd encourage you to go watch his latest stuff and subscribe, guys. I was laughing my butt off watching his latest video, but let's continue.
I am at a point in my life now where if you are making me uncomfortable, or you are pissing me off, or I just don't like you, I'm just going to walk away. So that's exactly what I did. I just said what I had to say and walked off. And then I remembered why we aren't friends anymore.
Girls are friends with each other. It literally something like these girls will say, "Oh, I'm not friends with her. She's so mean." Like Stacy talks about me behind my back, and then you find out next week that Courtney and Stacy are friends again. You notice those like best friends, like those girl best friends, right? Like the girls that they form pairs, and there's like two of them that are incredibly tight with each other. A lot of times, those girls actually strongly dislike each other. Like they'll try and take each other's boyfriends and call each other names behind each other's backs, and tell everyone what an awful person the other one is. But then they smile to each other's faces and think that and then they want to lie to each other. It's really interesting to watch because we as dudes, we don't really do that, right? Like if we have a disagreement with a guy friend or like a mate of ours, we're just gonna like argue it out and probably get over it, or we'll either just not talk to the guy or we'll resolve the differences. But these girls will stay in relationships with people that they literally hate, and it's pretty funny to watch.
Yo, these dudes are actually out here saying that they want a strong, independent woman
I don't know any
until
guy
they
who's
get
saying
one and realize.
I literally don't know any man who says that they want a strong, independent woman. Like I don't know where when people make these videos, like it's almost like they just throw out words,
That not only is she going to be assertive and straightforward, she doesn't actually need him. She just wants him. So he's going to have to do more than the bare minimum to earn his keep.
I'm telling you, man, when you watch these videos, if you just like backwards engineer it, they just tell on themselves the entire time. Let's look at this, okay? So let's go back to what she just said there. So he's going to have to do more than the bare minimum to earn his keep. Girls say this stuff because what has happened is they've accepted the complete opposite to this. That's what's happened. So, like for instance, these girls who say, "Oh, I'm not giving it up for a dude unless he does all of these things. He's got to take care of me. He's got to show me that he's committed." All that's demonstrating is that her previous relationships, or if you can even call them relationships, which you can't, were dudes who didn't commit to her and didn't do anything, didn't do more than the quote bare minimum. These are the types of girls who will go out on a weekend and see a couple of guys on that weekend, and then still expect some dude to come along and commit to them because they know their worth now. Like, geez, like narcissism sure has some different labels today, doesn't it, guys?
Earn his keep. Because if a woman is going to give up her precious time that she loves spending with her favorite person, herself.
I mean, what did we just say, right? Like, goodness gracious me. And again, shout out to Replicant Fish for finding these clips. Like, goodness gracious me, man. If that's not narcissism in a nutshell, let's look at that. If a woman is going to give up her precious time that she loves spending with her favorite person, I mean, isn't that just absolutely crazy? And I mentioned this on a lot of videos recently, guys. Like these girls want to pretend like they're the most busy people in the world. Oh, I'm the CEO of this business. Oh, I run around and I do all of these things. I'm telling you, man, these girls do absolutely nothing. A lot of times they're working like a coffee barista job. Struggling to make ends meet because they don't even cover enough shifts, right? But they're just kept on the team because why the hell not? Like. And then they want to turn around and be like, "Oh, sorry, I can't." They'll cancel on dudes 20 minutes after the date actually happens, and be like, "Oh yeah, sorry, something came up. I'm super busy right now." I'm telling you, man, these girls are not busy. They're literally doing nothing with their lives.
Favorite person, herself, he better make it worth her while.
Oh, right.
So these dudes out here saying they want a strong, independent woman need to figure out if they can even handle that.
Nobody, guys. Like, am I living in a different dimension, or like goodness, my head's going to explode, man. It's like these girls just have selective hearing. Like all the men are saying, "No, we don't want that," and the women are going, "Oh, so you want that?" Like, no dude is saying that they want strong, independent women. Maybe the guys who don't have so much self-respect. Okay, like when she says strong, independent woman, guys, like what they want to do is they kind of want to use words that at least have some form of positive connotation. Like for example, "Oh, we're all about equality." These people are not about equality, right? And anyone who believes that, guys, is just They're not about equality. They're not about being strong and independent. A lot of times, guys, it's just about dominance. Like these ladies who are quote strong and independent. What that really means is they're argumentative, they're bitter, and they're disagreeable. That's what it means. And if you want to get into a relationship with someone like that, I think that's some pretty questionable. That's your choice to make, guys. But I wouldn't recommend it.
And if they can't, go back to kindergarten, little boy. You're not ready yet.
There it is. I mean, guys, look at that. Isn't that crazy?
Go back to kindergarten.
So if you're not ready to commit to this woman, you have to go back to kindergarten because you're a little boy and you haven't grown up yet. Like, wow. Isn't that kind of nuts, right? How, like, if you don't want to commit to someone, you're disgusting, you're a child. So, like, what they do is they try and belittle someone's masculinity if the dude doesn't want to give them something. Like, isn't that just... And people will accept this stuff, like, if it's attached to a pretty face, because dudes are conditioned to believe, hey, girls can do no wrong, girls are sugar, spice, and everything nice. And then you get ladies like this who make TikToks, literally trying to shame men into committing to them. That's a hell of a tactic, isn't it? And you want to try and have a conversation about love in 2021, gentlemen. I mean, just go to TikTok, right? And people will say, "Oh, Taylor, these are just very specific TikToks." Like these TikToks are really large. Like this one, not the biggest, but it has 19,000 likes, so it probably has over 100,000 views on it. It's just some obscure TikTok that's on the platform. Not difficult to find at all, right? I mean, this stuff is everywhere, man. But let's continue on to the next video if I can find it.
Strong and
Oh my goodness. Oh.
independent woman, check. Put a finger down if you have goals and aspirations. Put a finger down if you are willing and ready to break glass ceilings. Put a finger down if you've ever been catcalled and instead of just slowly walking away, you turn around and let that person know what's up. Put a finger down if your number one goal in life is to build a strong career, not find a man. Put a finger down if you are proud of the woman.
I did not mean to like that. Let me just unlike that real quick. Hey, if I always say, guys, like if these girls want to go out and chase their career, nobody's stopping them. They want to pretend like, oh, we're being stopped from being CEOs. Nobody's stopping you from being a CEO, man. Hell, go make your own company. Like nobody cares. If you want to, like, there's the door. Okay, you're totally welcome to go out there and create jobs and lead a company and stuff like that. It's just that a lot of ladies, when they go out there and they try and do that, they realize as they get older, hey, wait a minute, that's not worth it. If I want to have a family, I don't have all this time to be climbing the corporate ladder, okay? And hell, a lot of people just don't want to do that in general because it's difficult, and these videos, what they really are, gentlemen, is they're just straight up for attention. Okay, I've said this on the channel before, but girls who get on here and they complain about catcalling, what they're really trying to do is they're actually trying to make themselves look valuable. Right? It's almost like dudes who say, "Oh yeah, I get all these girls, man. I'm the sickest guy ever. I've been with so many girls, you wouldn't believe it." It's the exact same thing, right? What they're doing is they're saying, "Oh, look, the opposite gender finds me attractive, so that must mean I'm valuable." That doesn't mean anything. Right? And oftentimes the girls who say, "Oh, I get catcalled," they're actually the girls that get the least amount of attention. Because what they're doing is they're now trying to lie about the fact that they get catcalled more than they actually do, if they do at all, right? And then they're trying to spin it into actually getting some attention online. If aliens were watching us right now, gentlemen, I would not take the least bit of offense if they just didn't want to land on our planet, to be honest.
Woman you are proud of the woman that you are becoming. Put a finger down if you encourage other women to do the exact same. Put a finger down if you think that a woman's choice of clothing does not define the level of respect she deserves.
What the hell, man? Guys, if I go out like wearing a clown costume and I have no business like being a clown, of course people's respect is going to drop for me. Okay, this whole idea of you can do whatever you want and people just aren't supposed to judge you, and if they do, then they're childish and they belong in kindergarten, or they're rude, or they're little men and all this kind of stuff is just ridiculous. Like, there's a huge push at the moment for people to be able to do whatever the hell they want, right? And if you judge them, then you're a terrible person. I've never understood this about judgment, guys. I think that judgment is one of the most important things that you can learn. And this is something that, you know, with men being literally kicked out of society and kicked out of families at the moment, this is something that is sorely missing, okay? Because men teach judgment. Okay, yeah, they teach boundaries and stuff like that, and they're, you know, and stuff along those lines, guys. But you know, men also teach judgment, and judgment is not a bad thing, guys. It's like you should be making judgments about what kind of people you want in your life and what kind of people you don't. This whole thing of like, oh, if someone judges me for the way that I'm choosing to dress, then that's their fault. It's like, no, maybe just don't dress like a clown, you know?
Put a finger down if you always speak up if somebody makes stereotypical comments about women, even if they're just trying to be funny. Put a finger down if you consider yourself a feminist, and put a finger down if you cannot wait to bring even more strong, independent women into this world.
Well, I mean, you know, if there's any time to invest in cat food, gentlemen, it's now, I guess, because I'm just looking at these comments as well, and notice how like this is something that spreads, right? Because these girls will sit here and they'll tell other girls to do the exact same thing, and what they're all doing is they're just going light speed into being alone and single and raising cats and a child by themselves. That's all they're doing. And before we move on to the next part of today's episode, guys, I just want to read a couple of comments because you guys can't see them. They're off the screen to the right here. But the first comment is, also can't wait to teach my daughter to be a strong and independent woman. Next comment, yes, you're going to be such an incredible mother. Your kids will be so lucky. Next one, we have each other's backs no matter what. Like, videos like this really make you understand, okay, that it's not about what they're trying to do is they're trying to comfort each other's terrible decisions. You know, girls, I'm telling you, man, they would rather hear a comforting lie than to actually hear truth that has utility, but might be a slight bit offensive to them. Right? Because they'd rather screw around and, you know, feel good rather than something that's actually practical. You know, like keeping a man around in a house rather than raising the kid by yourself. But hey, that's none of my business. Sips tea. Anyway, let's continue on to today's video, guys. And this one, shout out to Manosphere Highlights Daily, guys. Go subscribe to them if you enjoy this kind of content. They put together compilations as well, like more video formatted ones. And this is on why the women explaining why men don't approach them anymore. So let's take a look at this.
So in today's video, we want to talk about why men are becoming more and more hesitant to approach women. And naturally, there could be these reasons, such as perhaps he's shy or he has a fear of rejection, which is perfectly normal. But we wanted to cover the growing trend of false allegations, false accusations of sexual assault, that men just perhaps don't feel that it's worth the risk to approach a woman, ask her out because of this increasing trend that we're seeing.
Because
right
more and more you're seeing that, for example, if a man touches a woman's hand or maybe just cold approaches her and asks her on a date, it's harassment, I'm being harassed.
I mean, we all know how this goes, guys, right? It's only the H word if he's unattractive. I mean, I don't say that to be nihilistic. I don't say that to be cynical, guys. That's just what it is. If you take the same set of behaviors, i.e. randomly approaching and talking to a girl, and you put those behaviors on both an unattractive and an attractive man, the unattractive guy will be creepy. The attractive guy, it'll be swept under the rug as long as it's not too bad, right? You can get away with different levels of behavior depending on how attractive you are, and unfortunately for a lot of men, like if you're not a top percenter, that can put you behind bars, you know, or you can do something like repercussions to this stuff are not to be laughed at. Okay, these girls can literally lie through their teeth, and there have been cases where these women not these two women in particular, but where women have been, you know, proven to have lied about what actually happened to them, and the dude was, you know, about ready to go to jail over this stuff. So yeah, it's a huge concern.
just kind of a very unjust accusation to say I'm being harassed. Obviously, if the man's asked her 10 times and she said, no, I'm sorry, I'm not interested, please leave me alone, and he keeps doing it, then that's when you get into harassment. But like the first time they come up and ask, or even another time, because some women like to be chased, all of this is just being wiped away because of this ever-growing trend.
I also think
something to not fall for, guys. I'm just gonna move my character real quick. Something to not fall for as well is, like, you'll notice how these ladies want to play the victim, okay? And they'll say, oh, well, I rejected him and he wouldn't leave me alone. I just want to make this very clear. A lot of girls do not actually outright reject men. And don't be fooled. It's not because they're nice and they want to spare his feelings, gentlemen. It's because if a girl outright rejects a man, right, like outright rejects him, the concern is not that he'll get angry or upset or anything like that. The concern is more so the fact that she now loses that guy as a potential option down the line. She loses the free attention, the free validation, and if he makes something of himself, or he's kind of like stored, he's just being stored right now. A lot of these girls want to play it off as if, oh yeah, I rejected him, when in actual fact they didn't. And what they're doing is they're kicking the can down the road, so to speak. They're leading the guy on, letting him think that he still has a chance, so that the guy still continues to invest and still feeds into a narcissism. I kid you not, guys. That's a very cynical thing what I said just now, but you'd be surprised how common that is. But let's continue.
I think on the flip side, times have changed. Okay, when me and my sister have only an 8-year age gap, but when she was in college, she never bought a drink at a bar. Guys would always buy her drinks. And whenever I was in college, that was not the case. And it wasn't just me. I talked to some people, and it was not like that every single night, or even half the nights, or even a fourth of the nights. I really do think times have changed and things becoming more equal. And not everyone loves that. We have our more traditional folks that want the men to kind of be their pursuer, the chaser, the one that initiates the asking out and going out on dates and things like that. But I think
yeah, well, what they're doing actually is these girls are saying, oh, I'm not traditional, I'm progressive, but I still want men to pay for me, right? I'm strong and independent, and I believe in equality and being progressive, but at the same time, I still want men to pay for everything, and if they don't, then they're just little boys. And you guys, I'm not even exaggerating, that's almost verbatim what the woman at the beginning of the video said, right? If you don't commit to her, what'd she say? You belong in kindergarten or something like that, right? I mean, how much more, how much more do you need to see, right? Where these girls will literally outright say what's actually happening. And I mean, girls should get free drinks, man. Girls will literally go out and not even pay for a single drink for the night. They'll literally be gone the entire damn night, and the entire time dudes have been paying, trying to buy them stuff.
you have to consider how far we've come in women's rights, where we should stop assuming that's how this world works.
And why men may not approach you is because you do not smile.
That you are not smiling. You literally will not bust a smile to save your life.
Smiling. People want to be people that are happy, easygoing. And if they see you just easygoing, smiling, having a good time, that's automatically more attractive to pretty much anyone, I feel like.
You look so serious and you're always frowning. And if you have a natural resting BH face, like I do, I'm naturally like serious looking. If you have a natural serious looking, try to break that up a little bit when you're out.
Try to smile, and I know you may have a lot of things to do, but try your hardest to not wear that on your face, even when you're...
Yeah, girls, it's so hard, it's so difficult to, to do that. I honestly, guys, I have no sympathy, right? The ladies who are concerned about the fact that men aren't approaching them anymore, yeah, I mean, it's a good thing, right? A good luck to the ladies. They're strong and independent. See, what they're doing is they're selectively choosing where the strong and independent part comes in. Okay, I'm strong and independent until I want a guy to pay for me and call me beautiful. I'm strong and independent until I have two kids and the father's not around because I booted him out. You see what I'm saying? Like what they're trying to do is they're trying to have their cake and continue to eat it too.
Irritated. Now we have the occasional moment, but try to stay cognizant and look like you want to be talked to.
Eye contact. Make eye contact.
You avoid eye contact. We've always kind of had this thing in our head as women, like not to let the guy see us looking. Oh, like, you know, you don't want him to see you looking. But I will tell you right now that that is the wrong thing to do. You want to actually make eye contact with the guy that you're interested in.
They will approach you if they think they have a shot. So if you are kind of scanning around the room, making eye contact with someone you find attractive or that you're kind of interested in, and they hold that eye contact back, that is going to probably lure them in a little bit more than if you just were not scanning the room, weren't interested.
You're always...
Yeah, and dating is hard for them apparently, by the way. I can't find a man. Men are so rare. How do I find a dude? And I mean, literally, like the lady said it right there. All they have to do is just sit there. Literally just sit there. Like even the girls complaining about the fact that they have a resting B face, right? And then they don't look very approachable. They're still going to get approached. It's not like it matters what the hell they do. And so this is where it comes in about not being able to find a partner, not being able to keep a man and stuff like that. That is why when we say on the channel, hey, any girl who's, you know, the older a girl goes without having a partner, if she wants one, that is a huge red flag. Well, I mean, when I say wants one, I mean, like, you know, she's been wanting to get a boyfriend, but she can't seem to hold one down or whatever the case may be. Like outside of like religious reasons and stuff like that, man. You know, I don't particularly know much about the religious reasons, but a lot of these girls, man, who say this stuff, it's not as if it's a difficult task for them, you know. And that's why when girls get to 30 and they're still single, it's like, what, you know, you've been dating this entire time, or you say that you've been single. Like, we all know that you've been getting into situationships, right? Like, it's whatever, man.
Preoccupied.
It's because you look so busy.
You are distracted. And what I mean by that is you're constantly on your phone. You're constantly checking your phone. Maybe you have your laptop and you're just so enamored in what you're looking at. So you want to be mindful that you're being present. Wherever you are, be present. We're in an age where you can be at a restaurant and see everybody like this, just looking.
Yeah, I mean, it used to just be called, you know, being respectful at the table, right? Like if you're on a date or something like that, like it used to just be called being respectful. It's kind of crazy. A lot of people nowadays, gentlemen, like can't even hold eye contact or shake hands properly. And I don't think that you should be shaking hands on a date, just to make that absolutely clear, man. But like a lot of people are unable to walk up to someone and go, you know, say, hey, how's it going? And give them a nice handshake and look them in the eyes, especially girls, man. Because girls have never had to approach. They've literally their entire life is just people approaching them with opportunities. It rarely is it the other way around, especially when the word no is involved. Like girls just don't get told no, man. They have no. A lot of them, man, when you look at like the way they flirt and stuff like that, they have no idea what the hell they're doing. It's actually a train wreck.
At their phones.
We have to give the guy some leeway. So kind of, if you look disinterested, or if you look bored, or if someone does approach you and you're not interested, there's a way to turn someone down without being disrespectful or rude. And that's one thing that I had to learn in my older days. When I was young, I was so rude. Every guy would say to me, Breenie is rude. And that was like my defense mechanism.
Maybe you're out and you're with a ton of girlfriends.
Is because you hang out in groups too much.
To go out in smaller groups. Anytime I went out with your 3 or more girlfriends, I rarely ever got approached. And I think that is more of an intimidation factor, and also not wanting to ruin a good time. Like obviously you were out with your girlfriends to be with them. So I could see guys not coming up to you for that fact. And so I would say go out in pairs.
Because every girl group that has that one friend that will basically cock block you, okay? That one friend that'll be like, no, my friend's not talking to you, sorry. There's always that one woman that is the enemy of progress. She's like the protector of the pack. She's not trying to let any of her girls be talked to that night. She has her place, but it's not every day, sis. I need to get me a man.
Yeah, need to get me a man, right? Yeah, okay, we all know what that means. But anyway, it's kind of funny, right? How the girl who's the C block of the group is usually the unattractive one as well. Right, not always, but usually it's because it's the one that gets the least amount of attention, that gets really defensive when their girlfriends are getting more attention than they are. It's pretty funny to watch. But anyway, gentlemen, we're going to be wrapping up today's show by taking a look at one final Reddit story and seeing what else we have pulled up. So let's take a quick look over here. Oh, that has been deleted. Man, a lot of these get deleted really quickly. Alrighty, so let's have a look at this one. This one is a, I don't know, what is it titled? Girlfriend has no idea that I'm breaking up with her tomorrow, and it has 1.1 thousand upvotes. So let's take a look and see what this person has said. I caught my girlfriend lying, saying that she was already home when she was still out with a guy friend she's been seeing a few times. I got the feeling that she was lying, so I went outside of their house to wait. On the way there, her dad texted me asking if I was with her, so obviously my gut feeling was right. Saw her dropped off by the guy, and after that she starts sending me photos proving that she was home. She's clearly defensive and manipulating me. I texted her dad and talked to him. I told him my intentions of breaking up because the relationship is getting toxic. He agrees and told me stories about her girlfriend's issues with them, and it validates my decision of breaking up. Excuse me, so I may have misread the beginning of that. The girlfriend was lying, saying that she was already home when she was out with a guy friend. Let's continue. She has no idea right now, and she's still trying to be cute on chat. Now, I just want to ask if tomorrow is already a good time to talk to her, or should I wait a bit more? Also, I don't know how I'll tell her that I waited outside their house and saw her. Too long didn't read, been thinking about breaking up, then I catch my girl lying to me. Planning on breaking up and want to know when it's the best time to talk. Videos like this, I mean, stories like this make me happy, guys. Like, the ones where dudes let these things drag on are typically the worst ones, right? Because that's where guys go through the most heartache, and also it demonstrates the most self-disrespect. But gentlemen, we are going to be calling today's episode there. Thank you for sending in the clips as well as the story that we got through, guys. It is very much appreciated, but we are going to be calling it there. As always, guys, if you are interested in supporting the channel, the link to the locals will be below the video. It is also totally free to go and join, guys, and it's kind of our backup if anything happens over here on YouTube, so make sure you go and join there. And like I said, if you'd like to support, it also has an option for that. But otherwise, we're going to be ending the video. So guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you boys in the next episode. Peace.